Hey guys, dads. I just want to talk today about some of the stuff that's going on in the world today. Um, one of the things is the school bombing in Iran last week. Regardless of the politics that you might feel or your thoughts on the conflict, um, just thinking about from a human side and thinking from the side of a parent, it's honestly really hard to put into words the empathy that I have for the parents that are going through that situation. You send your kids off to school and you think they're going to be safe, and then something like that happens. And, they talked about um, the parents showing up to school trying to find their kids. And honestly, like, my mind can't even wrap around the idea of ever being in that situation. Um, I make a lot of videos on my channel about how much I love being a dad and how uh, those experiences that I have with my son are like the best parts of my life. And I think about those parents that probably feel the same way about their child or children that I do about my son. And it really it affects me emotionally thinking about parents having to go through that. When I talk about this in one of my other videos, but like when you're not a parent, like before children, your mind can kind of block these things out, and not really think about things that are going on in the world. Um, but then, like when you become a parent, when you hear stuff like this, or you hear about the tragedies that happen in the schools. I mean today that preschool somebody crashed their car into trying to do harm to people, and there was tons of children in there. I mean, thank God none of them were harmed. Um, and you think about the heartache that those parents must feel. Um, and I think as dads, it's important that we're able to talk about things like this, real world stuff, uh, and have empathy for other people. And I think this is why it's so important to just really embrace every single day that we have with our kids, because not every single day is promised to us or guaranteed to us. So we don't want to live with any regret for not being the best version of ourselves we can for our kids. Um, God willing, we never have to go through any of those pains. But there's parents out there that have gone through it, and it's it's really hard to even think about, honestly. And I felt it was necessary to make a video like this because I feel like for men and as fathers, a lot of times we want to keep these kind of emotions inside rather than talk about them. Um, and I'm a firm believer that like you need to address the things that affect you, and you need to be able to take those things on head on. Because you can try to avoid like the stimulus of feeling those emotions, but um, when that kind of news hits you face to face, then you're not going to be able to um, process it. I made a video a few weeks ago about a little boy that was killed by his father, and again, like this stuff, it's really hard to even like voice the the feelings that it gives me. Um, I was pretty distraught for like a day or two, and like you look at the world a little differently, and you hold your kids a little tighter, and you tell them you love them a little more, and you make sure that they know that you're there and you love them, and you thank God that you're able to do that still. Um, yeah, just being a parent is such a blessing. Um, And that's why, honestly, it's why I made this channel, because I want dads, no matter if they're in a family with a wife or a significant other and have children, or if they're a single dad, like I want dads to experience the best of this, and I want them to have no regrets, and to be able to know that every single day they did the best they could, and they gave the best to their child every single day. Um, so yeah, this stuff that's going on in the world, it sucks. It's it's terrible to even think about. Again, regardless of the politics or the geography of where you're from, I think as human beings, it's it's kind of what separates us from animals, is being able to have empathy. Um, we have the ability to lie, but we also have the ability to feel for one another, and to pick up one another, and and help each other as we need it. So yeah, I'm just thinking about this stuff out loud, and I thought it was important for other fathers and other men to be able to see um, somebody be able to be vulnerable. Um, being in the military, like, it's always been emphasized, like, and even playing sports growing up, that like you shouldn't show your emotions, and that showing your emotions is a sign of weakness. And again, I think being a man and like having these type of things, and being able to show emotions, I think that's important to be able to pass on to our kids. A couple weeks ago, I when I got promoted, my son was there for my ceremony, and like I did my thank yous for the support and to all the people that have made this journey possible. And when I got to my son, I started I started crying, and I was able to do that in front of him, and I showed him that it was okay to feel these emotions. Um, and I think being able to teach your kids that it's healthy to have emotions, and even like coming from like a point of strength, like my son sees me in uniform, and that uniform is a symbol of something, and being able to see dad show emotion shows him that it's okay to show emotions when it's um, when it's okay to. I mean, obviously, like, you can't be emotional all the time, but yeah, I think as men, it's important that we're able to show our emotions. So, this video is basically just, hey, if you're feeling stuff, it's okay to feel it. If you want to talk about it, it's okay to talk about it. As dads, as men, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. How this kind of news, as a father, how it affects you, and what kind of emotions does it spark in you, and uh, do you look at your role as a parent a little differently when things like this happen? And yeah, I'd just love to hear how you guys cope with this stuff. So appreciate you guys watching. If you made it this far, if you like this video, if you like the tone, the direction I'm going in, please feel free to subscribe. Would love to earn your viewership. Please like, share, subscribe. May God bless you and your families.